Hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm in Colombia at the family-owned factory called AGA. And behind me, we have one of the most famous coaches in the country. This is AGA Forever, built on a Scania-chassis. I'm in a small little village called Duitama, about 2 hours drive outside of Bogota. And I am visiting a family-owned coach factory called AGA. And AGA stands for the owner's name, Armando Gutierrez Acevedo. And this is a small scale that produces about 120 coaches every year. And they're building on different chassis. And today we will take a look at one of the most popular coaches in Colombia. And the coach model I'm going to drive today is a very special model for the company. Because in 2022, the founder of the company, Armando, passed away. And to honor him, they made a product. So that's why the name was Forever, because he will be remembered forever in the history of AGA. So today I'm taking out the proudness of the company. This is the AGA Forever with a Scania chassis.
So this is the AGA Forever. This is one of the most successful models from AGA. AGA is one of the most famous bodybuilders here in Colombia. They are about to be 50 years old in 2 years. Now they are developing this vehicle that was launched in 2024, remembering Mr. Armando Gutierrez, that was the founder of this company. So we are going to walk around this vehicle to try to talk about these features here for Mr. Magne Bussmagasinet. Here we have a nice vehicle because according to the local requirements, the windshield is divided in two. Here the transportation companies and the operators used to say that it's too expensive to change that windshield with this complete. So they divide it in order to have less money paying for each part. Obviously, the wipers are closing in the center. We have all LED lights here. 5 of those lights are LED. They are coming from Germany, from Hella. There we have always the AGA sign, the Forever, and the Scania chassis. Let's check in the side area of this vehicle. This something really interesting is Latin America, is Colombia, is that you don't have this part as a complete part of the vehicle. It's divided. Why? These aluminum sheets here are divided in order to permit to have those changes. If there's any scratch, if there's any accident, they can change this easily and they don't have to change all the side part of the bus. We have very easy and wide luggage area. Sometimes obviously in Europe this used to have like a carpet or something like that. And here we have aluminum. It's heavy duty aluminum. We have those rails, those guards, because sometimes, you know, in Colombia and Latin America, we have so many curvy roads. Luggage is always moving, so something has to stop those bags for being moving all the time. So we have those rails in here. This is an Euro 6 vehicle. We have here obviously an AdBlue tank and Euro 6 engine in the back. So let's check that area because we have that just here.
And if you like this content, I recommend you to also check out our Instagram, our TikTok, and find a lot of great material. And I promise you many good short videos from this vehicle.
This is the battery area. This is part of the AGA culture. When you are going to pick up your brand new bus, it's always clean and shiny. Even the batteries are totally shiny. Now here, the AdBlue tank, we have a very easy access to the engine. The DC13 engine there, it's a Euro 6 engine. It produces 410 horsepower and 2000 Newton meters. We have here the air conditioner area with another alternator with the compressor of the air conditioning. And in the rear part of the bus, we have a different design. As Magne said, I heard him telling this is a really original design. This is not a copy of anything. It's the design team of AGA developing this new bus. We have LED lights, but we have a really interesting detail here. This exhaust tip that is very sport. It seems to be like a sports car. It's very nice. That rear bumper is divided for easily take the engine out if you want to make any kind of repair. You have so many vents in here because temperature in Colombia changes all the time. You could be at the mountains, at the top of the mountains are 5 degrees. Then you can drive in an hour and a half and be in the sea in 40 degrees. So there are so many weather change, temperature change. So we have all those vents here in the rear of the Forever. We have a camera, rear view camera, and reverse sensors to keep your back always shiny and complete. In the left side, we have the radiator. It's in here, radiator, the intercooler, and opening this hatch, we will access to the emission control system. This is the catalytic converter, and in the back, we have the 12-speed OptiCruise automated transmission. In Colombia, you have always 2 drivers in the long distance roads. For example, this vehicle belongs to Flota La Macarena. There are so many long roads, 12 hours roads. So the bus has always on the same 2 drivers. So one of them is mandatory for him to be always sleeping or resting here. They change every 4, every 6 hours. So one of them is always sleeping here. In here we have a very comfort mattress. We have an air conditioner, we have light, we have some space to put all the stuff from the driver. Here, easy to open luggage area. You can open this only with one hand, but you need 3 hands for lowering it. It's not as easy. Here you have access to the fuel tank, to the diesel tank. It's a very big tank. Remember, here in Colombia or in Latin America, sometimes we believe that we are from US, we believe that we are Americans, that we measure fuel in gallons. So it's 170 sometimes or 150 gallons tank. That gives you a range about 1,000 kilometers. This is a driver door that is very common in Colombia. For example, we have in here other different plants from Brazilian bodybuilders, and the Brazilian models haven't got this door. In Colombia, we have this door, and in this door, I can operate the main entrance and I can operate the power windows. Well, at last, saying thank you to Magne for having us here in his channel. We have the electric mirrors, power mirrors in here, but if you want, you can change those mirrors for cameras in order to have the famous e-mirrors in the AGA Forever.
And if you don't subscribe on our channel yet, I recommend you to do it, maybe now. And thank you, Charlie, for taking me here to Colombia. And it's so comfortable to see you running around the vehicle, working, while I'm sitting here in probably one of the most comfortable seats ever, just relaxing. This seat is made by AGA itself. The small factory that produces about 120 vehicles every year is making their own seats. So they are really taking care of all the quality in their product themselves. It's a 2-point seat belt, very efficient, and the comfort here is just great. So in this vehicle, it is 9 of this comfortable seats. And in the back, we have normal seats, but they are also not so bad. Here we have the regular passenger seats, and I would never ever in my whole life even imagine complaining about the quality on these seats. We have a 2-point seat belt, very easy to find, and of course I can recline the seat. Quite a lot. And then, very hard armrest. And as you can see, there is big windows. It makes a light and great environment inside. All the windows are emergency exits, and all the way in the back there is a toilet. And now I want to show you the most important seat in the vehicle, the driver's seat. Here I can attach my seatbelt, and here I can see I have the Scania dashboard that I'm used to from back home in Europe. I have a button on the side. Here I can tilt the wheel, and then I can of course also adjust it back and forth. So you have very good flexibility on adjusting the steering wheel. And when you find your preferred position, and you are seated very comfortably. And look at the finish, the details. You have this wood panel on the steering wheel. It's high premium quality. And the panel here, it looks like you are driving an airplane of some kind. And there is not too many buttons. You have a panel here from AGA. Here you can turn on and off the light, interior lights, and the power outlets. There is power outlets on all seats. On the business class, they are placed on the wall, and on the regular class, they are placed underneath the front seat. And you see the floor has a great quality. It is this wood laminate, so it looks very beautiful and inviting when you're entering the vehicle. But again, I can never tell it enough. My favorite feature in the whole world is a driver door. Imagine now, I'm stopping at a station. I only have one front door on this vehicle and people are starting to exiting the bus. I have to release my seatbelt, turn on my handbrake, and I maybe say bye-bye, hi-hi. Then I can escape from my driver door, open up the hatches, and starting to unload luggage. This saves me time and is very convenient for every driver that use this kind of vehicles with the driver door. I just love this. But if I want to open my passenger door, it's a button here to the left. Here I can lower and raise the bus. We have a light switch. We have the famous Scania dashboard. And of course, blinkers to the left, gear shifter to the right. It's an OptiCruise 12-step manual automated gearbox. We have cruise controllers and menu controllers here on the steering wheel. And now it's time for me to do what I've really wanted for a long time. I will test drive a Colombian-built AGA Forever. This is a 13.2 meter long vehicle with a Scania engine. I will drive a coach in Colombia. I will release my handbrake, put it into drive, and I'm driving the Scania version of the AGA Forever. Listen to this sound. And it's the first time ever driving a coach in Colombia. I'm a bit proud that I'm doing this in a vehicle from a family-owned company. And when I met the owner, he was so happy and so glad to see me and welcomed me in such a positive way. I'm really proud to sit behind this wheel to drive. I have to take a little first impression here. We are not on public road, we are driving on a road that the factory have on their area. Because here it's a big area and everything belongs to the family. Some air came in the window. There is no air conditioning installed at the moment. It will come when it goes out to customer. But at the moment, it is muy caliente aquí. I have to say that the steering wheel is very comfortable. I'm sitting here and I have full vision out the front window, even though we have the split window and it's 4 or 5 centimeters wide. It doesn't bother me so much that I thought it would, because when I'm sitting here, I'm seeing straight ahead. And if I need to see that direction, well, I turn my head that direction and I see on the other side of the window. The wipers are placed in the middle, so when I need to use them, they will move back and forth towards me. In Europe, I'm used to that they start down and they go to the side. Here they go back and forth like a dance. But the only thing I'm a little bit worried about, the left side mirror is a little bit blocked behind the A pillar. We have 2 mirrors on both sides. We do have the standing mirror down and the wide angle mirror up. But if I want to see all of the wide angle mirror, I do have to lean a little bit in front of myself. That is because a quite wide A pillar, and because also of my favorite thing of the vehicle, the driver door. So it's excused, it's okay. The side window is very big and efficient, but you also need some more space here on the B pillar to close the door. So all in all, for me, this is very useful. The pedals are so nice to use, and listen to this, the blinker sound of a Scania. It's a very satisfying sound, and I feel like home when I'm driving this vehicle. This vehicle has the 410 horsepower engine, but AGA will also import the chassis called K320, which is a 320 horsepower engine. You will get a little less powerful engine, but you won't lose all the effects that is included. You will still have the 12-step OptiCruise transmission, you will have the great suspensions, and you will have the traction control, so it will still be a full worthy great Scania product. But they will also have a little cheaper chassis for you to buy, because Colombia, everything is about money. Or where in the world, isn't that the question? But of course, we are in countries where money is a bit more important than, for example, European countries where everybody wants everything, the biggest engine, the most extra equipment. Here we need a much more realistic value of the vehicles. But for the value you get for this Forever, I think this is a fantastic vehicle. Now I will speed up a little bit and I will try the retarder. So we're coming into a crossing. We are reaching 40 kilometers per hour. and I start to use the third step on my retarder, it's so smooth. I don't have to use the pedals at all, and I use my throttle to deactivate the retarder and start accelerate again out from the crossing. And we cannot drive a vehicle without trying to back it up. And the mirrors are very functional. Right now they didn't install the software for the backup camera, but I have full control of what I see in the mirrors. And I also have great help from the blind spots camera here in the front. And while backing, it's a very comfortable movement of the vehicle. It's not like that you can experience sometimes when you go backwards. This Scania is really comfortable while backing up. And the steering wheel is so light and easy to use. And again, the beautiful sound of a Scania blinker. I really understand that this is a vehicle dedicated to the founder of AGA. I feel proud driving this vehicle, and I understand why this is one of the most sold coaches in Colombia. And I'm really thankful for coming here to Colombia, meeting the owner of AGA, and to be able to test drive this forever. Can I take it home? Thank you so much for watching the video here today. And if you liked what you see, click down here. The button is called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely. Have a great day.